Hey guys, so welcome to the next knife review. As you can tell by the title, and you can also see it here on the table, we're going to be reviewing another Benchmade knife. This one is one of my favorite EDC knives and what I consider to be the ideal weight, size, and construction of a perfect EDC knife. And these are not going to be cheap by any means, or should I say less expensive is the term that everybody's using, but these things are going to run you around $80 to $100 depending on the configuration and model that you choose. I do have two of the models here, the 556, which is this model here with the thumb stud, and the 555, which is the whole model. We'll go over both of the knives here. These are, like I said, fantastic EDC knives. So let's get started and look over the knives. I'm actually going to start with the 555 model because this is my favorite. You can tell by this clip that it gets quite a bit of use. So first off, let's talk about, this is more of a hard plastic material. This is not G10 or anything on the actual handles. These are like a plastic scale. Now, they do have some decent grip, and you can see it right there. Your finger and your palm actually do dig into that. It's not the best, of course, as far as grip. If you get these wet especially, they are kind of slick, but it is adequate, I guess, for an EDC blade. On to the top, you can see here that this is not a flow-through pin design. This is a closed design, and what that means is, let me see if I can get in closer for you here, if it'll focus, that this is not flow through, so you can get some buildup in there of lint, dirt, mud, blood, whatever it may be, so you will have to clean this out if you get gunk in there. I typically blow mine out with compressed air ever so often, but that's not a concern with the EDC blade. I don't see that being a negative or anything like that. While we're here, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about, this is steel lined on the inside. It is not milled because it doesn't need to be. These knives are pretty lightweight at about 2.5, 2.6 ounces. So well under 3 ounce, which is really nice. If you've watched my videos before on knives and EDC carry knives, weight is not a big issue to me because it doesn't need to be. The amount of stuff I carry and the things that I carry on my person every day, there's really not a blade that I'm going to carry that would weigh me down. So not a big concern to me. Now on to the clip on the back. This is the Benchmade standard clip. This is a really good clip. It doesn't suffer from fatigue or pull out. What I talk about when I talk about pull out is some inferior knives, after a while, this will bend out from the actual scale here, and that can cause the knife to come out of your pocket a lot easier. You can lose your knife, and it's just irritating. Benchmade clips are, you know, top notch, no problems. I've never really bent one out by just wearing it every day. So really good clip design here. And now we'll move straight on to the access lock. This is probably my favorite locking system for a pocket knife EDC blade. There are a lot of other good ones out there as well. I just prefer the access lock. To me, it's really comfortable as far as engaging it, sliding it. I can do it with one finger on either side, so I really do like it. It is comfortable. It is actually, if I can get in on it here, get the camera to focus, it does actually have some sort of like jumping there to actually give you a grip on the lock itself, which is pretty nice. It's very easy to use. Like I said, it's just one of my favorites. If you have no experience with a Benchmade or the access lock, I do advise you go out and at least go to the store and check one out. You will not be disappointed. Very nice locking system. Here on the top, you can see there is some jimping. It is, I've heard others say that it is purely aesthetic. It is not aesthetic to me. You can actually feel it. It is not sharp and it is not the best, but this is an EDC pocket knife, so it is adequate. And there is also some here as well for your finger. And then there is a little bit of jimping here on the blade here at the base of the blade for your thumb. So, like I said, it's not the best, of course, but it is decent. I can get in and do some shaving with this knife, and it's pretty comfortable. Now on to the blade. This is a 2.9 inch blade, and if you remember from any of my previous videos, I think that probably right around 3 inch is the perfect EDC blade length. I do sometimes carry a bigger blade, don't get me wrong, there are instances where I want to, but I think for everyday carry this is perfect as far as length. I usually carry between 2.5 and 3.5 inch blades. 3.5 is rather big. Now you can see this is 154 cm steel, which is a great blade steel in my opinion for an EDC blade. This does hold a really good edge, and it is fairly easy to sharpen as well. This does come razor sharp out of the box. Very adequate as far as sharpening straight out of the factory. Now this, the reason we started with this is one of my favorite blade shapes. This is a modified sheep's foot, and this is a hollow ground blade. You can always tell hollow ground by taking your two fingers here and sliding it down the blade. I just love hollow ground. I always have. I don't know what the reason is for it. It is a good cutter, but I really do like it. And there's the butterfly logo once again, and you can see the hole deployment really well there too. So now let's talk about the hole here. On the newer models, this hole is shaped a little different. It's more oblonged for your thumb. I've had this knife a few years, of course, so they have changed it just slightly. And then the, like I said, this is 154 cm steel. The earlier models I think were 440C steel, which is, it's not a bad steel to say, but it actually does hold a decent edge and it is fairly easy to sharpen. 154 is superior in my opinion, so I do like that they now offer 154 in all of these knives. So we've talked about the blade, the deployment, all of that. This is also a tip-up carry, which if you've watched my videos before, you know I prefer tip-up carry. The reason for that is my knife goes in the pocket like this. I'm a righty. When I pull my knife out, I'm instantly in deployment mode. If it was tipped down, then when I actually drew the knife out, I would actually have to rotate it. It doesn't make a really big difference, no, but it is just faster deployment for me. This clip is also reversible to the right or left side. If you're a lefty, you can just reverse this, and we'll go right into tear down and maintenance. You can see there's little hex screws around the knife. You can tear this knife down for maintenance or cleaning. If you were to get this in salt water, you definitely want to take it apart for cleaning. It will rust for sure, but that's not a really big issue. I'm usually not around salt water except for on vacation. Not much salt water here in Kentucky, but it is nice to be able to tear these down and get under the stainless steel scales, or to do any kind of adjustments that you may need to do on the knife. But that's pretty much it as far as the knife's concerned. I don't think I've missed anything or left anything out. There is actual lanyard hole here as well, which is nice to have. I also mentioned that I don't usually use lanyards on my stuff. It's not to knock anyone that does. It is a useful thing to have, and a lot of people do like it, but I generally don't. I have used lanyards and I sometimes do, but generally I do not. So let's have a quick look at the 556. Feature-wise, this is going to be basically the same. The only difference is going to be the blade shape, the grind, and the stud as far as deployment. Other than that, this is going to be identical. And let's go and look at the differences. Here is the blade, and you can see this is a modified drop point blade instead of the modified sheep's foot like we've seen in the 555. This does have a unsharpened swedge here, and these are both nice bright stonewash finish. I really like the finish of these knives. And then you can also get a good look at the deploying stud here. It is ambidextrous, so you can deploy it left or right handed. See if we can get a good look at the actual blade there. And you can see the edge. Like I said, both of these knives came really sharp. I've owned both of these for a few years. This one gets carried, but a lot less because I'm such a fan of that modified sheep's foot blade and the hollow grind, so I tend to carry this one more. But these are both fantastic knives. You can't go wrong with either one of these. Now, when I bought these, you could get these things for around $60, $65, $70. You are going to pay more than that now. If you're to pick one of these up now, like I said, you're going to pay between $80 and $100. Now, you do have plenty of options as far as buying a Mini Griptilian. You have several color choices to choose from in handle material. There's blue, OD green, black. I think there's like a bright lime green. There's pink. You have tons of choices, which is really nice. A lot of guys like that. I'm not big into the bright colors, but a lot of collectors and guys just like it because it's cool. Now blades, of course, we already know that there's different blade shapes and designs because I'm showing you two of them now. But you can also get combo blades, which are plain and serrated together. You can get tanto blades. There's a lot of choices. Now that's something that I can't remember if I've talked about. I prefer a plain edge. It's more traditional. I just like the plain edges better. I'm not a big fan of combo or serrated blades. Not to say they don't have their place. If you're cutting, ropes all day, then that may work for you. But I guess I'm traditionalist. I love the plain edge. But these are two fine knives and highly recommended by me here at Tactical Existence. If you're looking and you're wanting to spend the money and get top quality, I would recommend the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. Go check them out in your local retailer if you haven't already. You will pay a premium for these, but they are Benchmade and they are fantastic knives. There is no blade play here, up or down or side to side. Here also you can see the centering on this knife is perfect, and that's the kind of things that you're going to expect when you're buying a Benchmade. These things are solid, there's no play like I said, and centering on these knives is fantastic. So in the video I want to go ahead and roll in the scale and actually weigh these for you. I think they're around 2.65 or something in weight, but I want to go ahead and weigh it here so we can actually see, because sometimes that is off a little bit. I'm going to weigh the 555 model first, and yep, it's pretty well right on. It's 2.54 ounces, so very lightweight. It's under 3 ounces. Also, as you've seen in the videos and you've heard me say before, as far as EDC blade, weight is not a big issue to me. It's nice if it's light, that's great. And the stud model comes in a little bit heavier, of course, because of the studs and the material that's basically the stud model, of course, is going to be a little heavier because it has a stud, and the hole model, of course, is missing a little material where they cut out for the hole. So 2.61 ounces. So we're still well under 3 ounces for these knives. They're just top quality. Now I will show you a couple of competitive knives that are cheaper to this, just because I have them on the table. I didn't plan on doing this, but here is another one. This is another hole model. This is a Spyderco Delica 4. I didn't check the pricing on this, but when I purchased this, I've had this a few years as well, it was a little cheaper than the Benchmade, so there is a competitive option there. You can tell I've carried this quite a bit too by the clip and by the blade. There's some wear on there. So there's one option. Here is a even cheaper option. This is a CKRT Ripple. This is the aluminum version. This knife will run you probably anywhere between $37 and $45, somewhere in that neck of the woods, the best that I can remember. Very nice knife. I will be doing reviews of both those knives that I've just showed you, but there's a couple of competitive options for you. Kind of a different kind of belt clip there. We'll go over that in my review later on. But that's pretty much it, guys. As always, thanks for all the views, the likes, favorites, shares, and subscribers. Please, you know, if you enjoy these, share them, let people know about the channel here. But we will be at something else I want to talk about. We will be at the 2014 SHOT Show, so stay tuned on the channel. We'll have a lot of stuff coming very soon as far as once we get to SHOT Show here in January. So we'll have a lot of cool stuff to show you guys. Hopefully there'll be some really cool products out, and I'm sure there is. I'm excited about a few things I don't want to talk about right now, but there's a few products that I plan on getting, some new weapons that are coming out that I hope to get as soon as they're out for you to show you guys. But that's pretty much it, guys. We really do appreciate you guys, and we hope you're enjoying the content. And like always, guys, tactical is not just a word, it's a mindset and a lifestyle. Thanks for watching, everybody.